Welcome to MIAC's video series. In these videos, we will show you how to acid wash the MIAC cell. In this particular video, we will concentrate on the Rio cell. Let's get started. Before starting, gather all the necessary equipment. You will need acid washing kit components supplied by MIAC's in operations kit. The acid washing cell union assembly. A union 1 1/4 inch made of CPVC. Only the female half is needed. A reducer 1 1/4 inch by 1 inch, slip by slip, also made of CPVC. A reducer 1 by 1/2 inch, slip by thread, made of CPVC. An adapter fitting 1/2 inch machine thread by 3/8 tube, made of PVDF. An adapter fitting 3/8 stem by 3/8 tube, made of PVDF. 3 lengths of 3/8 inch polyethylene tubing, 9 feet, 7 feet, and 5 feet. An elbow push fitting 3/8 tube by 3/8 tube, made of acetyl. 2 5-gallon buckets or similar containers. Note, 10-gallon buckets will be needed for larger systems that have 3, 4, and 5 module cells. Latex acid gloves, a face shield, an apron, paper towels or rags, soft water, and finally acid, hydrochloric acid, muriatic acid, or citric acid. Step 1. The first step is to drain the cell. Start by placing the system in stop mode by pressing the green button. Do not power off the OSG. Wait for the water purge cycle to complete. A fan will continue to operate until the system is cooled. Note, it is safe to perform maintenance on the system while the fan is running. Remove the front and rear cell compartment panels. We removed the back panels already to save time in this video. Remove the side panel in addition and open the plumbing door. Close the cell inlet plumbing isolation valve. It is the red handle valve on the plumbing line. Isolate the cell module by setting the external oxidant discharge 3-way valve to the sample port position. This will redirect the discharge from the solution tank to the sample line and will isolate the solution header from the OSG. Attach a 9-foot 3/8 PE tubing from the end of the drain valve, a white valve with blue handle, to the 5-gallon bucket. Drain the cell by opening the blue handle drain valve on the inlet manifold. Allow for the cell to drain for 20 to 30 seconds, then open the 1 1/4 inch female union at the top of the cell. If you spill any liquids, be sure to clean them up to prevent corrosion to electrical and metallic fittings. Step 2. The second step is to prepare the brine pump acid recirculation. Disconnect PE tubing from both brine pump fittings inside plumbing enclosure. Note the orientation of inlet and outlet fittings for reconnection. JG swivel elbow is on the inlet side of the brine pump. Connect the loose ends of the tubes together via an elbow to prevent any excess brine from leaking into the plumbing enclosure. Utilizing a 9-foot long PE tube from the cell drain valve, connect the opposite end to the brine pump outlet. The non-swiveling fitting side. Install the 5-foot long PE tubing from the brine pump inlet, the swivel side, fitting to the 5-gallon bucket. Install the acid wash cell union assembly, female half, to the male union half on top of the cell. Route the 7-foot long PE tube from the acid wash cell union assembly to the 5-gallon bucket. Capture or soak up any drain water that may have spilled onto the cell tray. Step 3. The third step is to prepare the acid-water mixture. Remember, always follow manufacturer's safety instructions when handling acids. Never add water to acid. Always add acid to water. The drain on a cell will not permit complete drainage of a cell. Therefore, the residual water remaining in the cell is utilized for diluting the acid for a 50-50 mixture. In a 5-gallon bucket or similar container, prepare one of the following acid solutions. A table will determine the appropriate volumes of acid and water to generate a 6 normal acid solution, depending on the size of the cell. Prepare a bit more acid water solution than the table shows to prevent the acid water bucket from running dry. If weaker acid solutions are chosen, they are still effective. They will sufficiently clean the cell if allowed to circulate longer. Increase the time from 30 minutes to 1 hour. Step 4 is starting the acid washing recirculation. Enter diagnostics mode by pressing on the diagnostics button on the display. Toggle on the brine pump. This supplies power to the brine pump. Touch the brine pump speed control button. A pop-up will appear. Select 3 for speed control, then push the enter arrow on the bottom right corner of the pop-up. If acid does not circulate immediately, it may be necessary to raise the bucket level above the brine pump level. This allows for flooded suction of the pump. Once the pump is flooded, no inlet air bubbles present, the bucket can be returned to floor level. Allow the pump to circulate acid and water mixture for about 20 to 30 minutes. 50 to 60 minutes if using a weaker acid solution or if the cell is heavily calcified. The duration requirements for acid recirculation within the cell will vary depending on the type of acid, the amount of mineral buildup on the cell, and the particular mineral buildup being removed. Toggle off the brine pump button. When finished acid washing, properly dispose of remaining mixture. If cell components still have a mineral buildup on them, it may be necessary to repeat step 4. Step 5. The next step is the acid removal process. Remove brine pump suction line from the 5-gallon bucket with acid water mixture. Place suction line in the second 5-gallon bucket filled with clean water to begin the cell and pump rinse cycle. Toggle on the brine pump button. Maintain brine pump speed at 3 control voltage. Keep pump on until the first 5-gallon bucket is full. Then toggle off the brine pump button. Discard acid water mixture from first bucket per local area disposal requirements and the manufacturer's recommendations for proper disposal. Refill the second 5-gallon bucket with clean water and repeat the previous process for rinsing the cell and pump. After the second rinse cycle, toggle off the brine pump button. Step 6. The sixth step is to reconnect the cell and pump to normal configurations. First, close the cell drain valve. Disconnect tubing lines to and from the brine pump. Reconnect the brine inlet and outlet lines to the pump after removing the temporary elbow push fitting. Place the drain line into a 5-gallon bucket. Open the drain valve, then loosen the acid wash cell union assembly. After the cell is drained, close the cell drain valve and remove the acid washing cell union assembly, then reconnect the oxidant exit plumbing union. Remove the 9-foot drain line from the system. Step 7. The seventh step is to flush the cell with water. Myax Corporation recommends flushed water to be disposed in drain rather than in the oxidant tank. The 3-way sample port and flexible drain hose can be used to route purged water to drain from the cell.
Open the cell inlet plumbing isolation valve. It's the red handled valve. Toggle on the manual flush button within the diagnostics menu. Allow the system to flush the cell with water for 10 minutes to remove any residual acid that may remain in the cell. Toggle off the manual flush button. Return the oxidant discharge three-way valve to the tank position. This will redirect the solution from the sample line to the solution storage tank. Step 8. The final step is to restart the system. Restart the system in accordance with the operations and maintenance manual. Allow the system to operate and stabilize for 15 to 20 minutes. Observe operating parameters and make sure to check for leaks.
This concludes the video on how to acid wash your Rio cell. If you have any other maintenance questions, check out our website, our YouTube videos, or contact us. Thank you very much.